welcome back to Ellie's Bookland. And yes, I know it has been a while since I last posted anything, but I've got some stuff in the works, and hopefully here very soon I'll be able to start making more content again, even more than I have in the past. And I'm wanting to do some more Nancy Drew related type of content, because I love those books and there's so many of them. Even though I've listened to audiobooks, because I found a thing on YouTube that reads the different Nancy Drew books. I honestly do wish they would use a more realistic voice though, since it's AI. But nonetheless, this is really the only way I can listen to these books, because it's amazing how those older books are harder to find. But anyway, I'm hoping to do some more Nancy Drew related content on this channel, and review the different books and that type of thing. In fact, for this month, I'm trying to see how many Nancy Drew books I listened to in the month of August. I can hardly believe it's August. I still kind of feel like it's still July. But anyway, so for today, I had a very interesting video idea. I've heard of different people coming up with different book titles for the different books just based off the covers, and some of the ones I've heard are hilarious, and I thought that would be so fun to do. And honestly, I don't even know the names of some of these Nancy Drew books, well, most of them, because there are so many. So yeah, some of the ones I don't either know at all, or I just may not remember. But honestly, yeah, I don't know the names of some of the ones, which are mostly the older ones. Not older ones, I mean the newer ones, like the ones that came out in the 80s and 90s. I thought that would be something interesting to do. But I think I'm going to mostly focus on the the flashlight editions today. I'll probably do a separate video where I do some of the newer ones, because there are so many. I'm just going to say right now, some of these may not be in order. So yeah, let me go ahead and share with you what I would call these Nancy Drew books based off of their covers. Okay, now for the first book, The Secret of the Old Clock, honestly, judging by the cover, Nancy looks like she's looking away from, she's clearly looking away from the clock, like she's looking at her surroundings. While honestly, I've actually listened to someone read this story recently. There's a playlist on YouTube of someone who read this story, and honestly, from what I remember of it, Nancy actually doesn't, I don't think, looks, around at her surroundings like she is in this book cover. She's just, I think, mostly focused on the clock. But if I were to give this this book a name based off of her expression, I'd say I'd call it Someone Doesn't Want Me to Open Up This Old Clock. Or I think someone's watching me open this old clock. But honestly, thinking about it, knowing it's a mystery, I think I would also call it being realistic here, an actual title to give it. I'd say I'd probably call it The Clock Mystery. I mean, it is a clock, so yeah. And I'm just gonna say right now, some of these title ideas I have are probably gonna be funny, while some I think are gonna be a little bit more, realistic, like a name that would actually be given to a book you'd find in a library. So just be warned of that. Okay, so now for the second book in the Nancy Drew series. This one is called The Hidden Staircase. I don't really have a funny title idea for this one. Really, all I'm thinking when it comes to this one is like what's up there. I think that fits, or maybe even the mystery of the creepy staircase. Because this does look pretty creepy. But I gotta say, this art style for the Nancy Drew Flashlight editions is really interesting. I think it's something how the walls and the steps, the whole entire background is completely green. It's really interesting. I just think that this style is so interesting. It's simple, but interesting. I do like the covers for most of the Flashlight editions. Okay, so next up is book number 3, and this one is The Bungalow Mystery, but I think I would call it The Mystery of the Creepy Cabin. But isn't a bungalow and a cabin kind of the same thing? I don't know. I don't even know if people even use the word bungalow these days. But it's actually interesting because this one has more detail than the second book cover. In fact, I think it's even got a little bit more detail than the first one, or about the same. Now I actually have not heard the story of the Bungalow Mystery one or the Hidden Staircase as of now. So yeah, I am wondering what happens in these books. Okay, now for book number 4, we have The Mystery at Lilac Inn, and honestly, I have a couple title ideas for this. One of them being The Mystery of the Ghost Lady, because I'm getting the feeling that this lady's a ghost, or supposed to be a ghost. Next, The Mystery of the Yellow Lady, because she looks like completely yellow. And another idea I have is The Mystery of the Yellow Glowing Lady, or just The Mystery of the Glowing Lady. Or, okay, now this one is very interesting. The Mystery of the Glowing Wrists, because as you can see, the ghost lady's wrist is glowing, and so is Nancy's. Like, I don't know if that's just the way they designed it, or if that's got something to do with the story, because I have not listened to this one either. So I don't know if that's important, or if that's just cover art that means nothing. I don't know. I, as of now, don't know. But that just kind of reminds me of that Tinkerbell movie, Secret of the Wings, where Tinkerbell meets her sister, and they're a certain distance from each other, their wings start to glow. And Nancy and this lady's wrists glowing kind of reminds me of that. So, yeah, The Mystery of the Glowing Wrists, I think, is perfect. Okay, next up we have book number 5, The Secret of Shadow Ranch. Honestly, I feel like this one is very obvious. What I would call this is The Mystery of the Glowing Horse, because there's clearly a glowing horse right on the cover. Or you could call it The Mystery of the Ghost Horse, because, yeah, there's clearly like a ghost horse on the cover. And honestly, I think that's what the ranch is called. I have not heard this one either. I really have to catch up with a lot of these older Nancy Drew books, honestly. But I think the ranch Nancy goes to is called Shadow Ranch, so I think that's why the book's called that. Because honestly, I think the Mystery of the Glowing Horse, or the Mystery of the Ghost Horse, or even the Mystery of the White Horse, well, that fits, since the horse seems to be white. Is white. But since it looks more ghostly, I think the Mystery of the Ghost Horse would have been better, honestly. because judging by the cover, I feel like that honestly fits, well, the cover, I don't know if it fits the story very well, because I don't know if this white horse, or white ghost-looking thing, is important in the story. I don't know if it's a big part. I mean, I'm sure it's probably important, but I don't know how many times it shows up or whatever. I don't know. I've not, not heard this one yet, so I don't know. But again, judging by the cover, I think a better name for this would be The Mystery of the Ghost Horse. Okay, now the next one is number 6 in the Nancy Drew series, and this is The Secret of Redgate Farm. Honestly, I've got really nothing for this one other than the secret of who's that. Because Nancy's truly all we really see is Nancy looking at someone, and I think you can, from what I can see on this cover, there's someone dressed in all green. Yeah. I don't know, I've got really nothing for this one, because the cover's not really giving me any indication on what's going on. And, okay, I'm just gonna say right now, Nancy does not look like the way she has in the past 5 books. Like, do they not realize that this does not look like Nancy? I mean, this looks more like the way she originally was supposed to look, with the blonde hair, instead of like the strawberry blonde or red hair she has in those other book covers. Plus her hairstyle's even different. So yeah, I don't know how they could not notice something so obvious. I don't know. Okay, now for book number 7 in the original Nancy Drew series, we have The Clue in the Diary. And I'm just going to say right now, this was a good book. This story was good. And, yeah, I think, from what I can see from the cover down here, I think you can see the diary a little bit, but the diary is not super obvious. And again, Nancy does not look like she originally did in, the first 5 books. So yeah, I really don't know how come this got past them, because she looks completely different. And I've even noticed on some of the other Nancy Drew book covers for, like, different series, Nancy tends to look different, like, in different, books that came out in different, like, the 80s or 90s or whatever. But I feel like more so with, like, some of the newer books, she looks completely different. Like, I think it's also the same way in the Nancy Drew Case File series. Like, on some of the book covers, she looks completely different. I think on most of them she looks the same, but, yeah, it's like, okay, it's like you're constantly recasting this girl when you're not even making a movie or show, it's a book, so what's going on? But yeah, as for this cover, I'd say, diary's definitely not the first thing I would think of. The first thing I would think of is The Mystery of Who Set This House on Fire. Or maybe something like, Who's That in Those Bushes? Because we can clearly see, some guy in the bushes, and we see Nancy, like, trying to stop him. So yeah, the word diary is definitely not the first thing that pops in my head while looking at this cover. It isn't. But this is still a good story nonetheless. And I do like the cover, even though, since it's called The Clue in the Diary, I do feel like the diary should have been a little bit more obvious and should have been a little bit more of its center, honestly. Okay, next up we have book number 8, Nancy's Mysterious Letter. And now Nancy once again looks like herself, so yeah. Okay, now what I would call this, well, It seems like there's actually a couple letters here. There's, unless this one here is the envelope this came in, and there's like 2 pages inside of it. Because if not, I would say Nancy's mysterious letters. I would put an S at the word, at the end of the word letter, make it letters. Since there does seem to be more than one, but I'm guessing that this one is actually just the envelope, and then these 2 pages here are part of one message, I guess. So yeah, I guess letters still fits, but let me see. I don't really have much of an idea for this one either. But I am thinking maybe it could be the mystery of who's writing to Nancy. Or just simply, who's writing to me? I think that would be interesting. Ooh, wouldn't that be something if someone actually was writing to Nancy? Oh my goodness. That would be very interesting. Like if someone's like trying to get her to solve a mystery and they can't like appear to her in person, so they're just sending her letters. That would be very interesting. Or even emails, since emails are more of the today's type of mail. I mean, of course people still send letters. But yeah. It would surprise me if one of these days they did away with letters and like receiving bills through the mail. It wouldn't surprise me if in a few years they start sending bills and other type of mail through email. I'm telling you, we might see that day. I kind of hope things don't get that technical, because, I mean, that would really put the post office out of business. I mean, not completely, since people would still be, ordering stuff, so they wouldn't completely go out of business, but, yeah. But who knows, we might see a day like that. Who knows? Who knows? Okay, now this is actually going to be the last one I'll do for today. And this is actually, again, not in order. I said some of these probably wouldn't be. This is the only one that's actually not in order. This is book number 11, The Clue of the Broken Locket. I still need to talk about the Twisted Candle one and the Larkspur Lane one, but I really don't have any ideas for the, renaming the title of the Twisted Candles or Larkspur Lane just yet, especially the Twisted Candle one. Plus, I need to hurry and wrap this up real quick. But I do plan on doing another video where I'll pick up, on the Twisted Candle, at least I'll try to, unless I haven't thought of a, name for it yet, like what I would call it just by the book cover. And, then I'll get back on track. So I'll do, another video for that. And there are a lot of Nancy Drew books, so I'll probably have to do a couple parts of this kind of, this video. I'll have to do a couple different parts. But as for this one, I would call this book, Who Left This Locket? Or, I don't know. I heard someone say that they would call this, what was it? I think it was something like, why are we all wearing matching accessories or something? Because Nancy, George, and Bess are literally just wearing the same thing. Although I think Bess is actually wearing a short sleeve shirt while Nancy seems to be long sleeved. I can't tell what George's is, but yeah, they're basically wearing the same thing. And also, I just want to say, why is Bess portrayed to be fat, like overweight, when she's skinny in every single book cover? Like, why is that? And, I recently heard someone else mention this, and I'm like, thank you. Like, why? Just why? Were the writers and the book cover artists not on the same page here? Because clearly they were not, because there are some book covers where Nancy doesn't look like Nancy, and in every single book cover Bess is skinny when she's portrayed to be fat. So What is going on? I always thought that was weird. Or, since I've started listening to these books, I've noticed Bess on the covers versus her in the books. Like, she looks like a perfectly healthy weight in this book cover. So, why is she portrayed to be fat when she's skinny on the covers? I don't get it. And it's not just this cover. Every single cover I've ever seen her on, she's skinny. So, I don't get that. I just do not get that. Oh, but I also just want to say real quick, I've actually heard someone mention that they found someone else who actually renamed this book, and this one was so funny. And I just love this. I just wanted to mention that real quick before I get off of here, that they renamed it something like well, it wasn't for this book cover, it's one of the other book covers, because quite a few of these Nancy Drew book covers, Nancy Drew books have different covers to them. And one of the book covers shows Nancy, George, and Bess and this guy looking at this old rowboat and the locket. And it's weird because the guy's not actually in the scene with them, so it's a good thing that they kept this, that they went with this book cover for this, this edition, because that guy is not in that scene. But someone renamed it The Mystery. I'm gonna have to try and say this without laughing, because it is so funny. They called it The Mystery of Why This Creepy Old Guy Is Watching Us, or something like that. I think it was something like that, but it was hilarious. I feel like I can't even do it justice. I don't even know where I could find that, but that is so funny. The mystery of why that creepy old guy is watching us. That is so funny. And yes, that would fit, because he's actually not in that scene. So, very weird. Now, maybe he was in the not the revised, in the old version. I don't think so, but maybe. Anyway, so I hope you have enjoyed this, and I'll make several parts to this, renaming different book covers. And so I hope you enjoy those too, and bye.